It's Antonio. Welcome back to my channel. Let's have some fighting words. So in this video, I want to talk about Keith Thurman. And basically, he's now been promised or he's signed up for the winner of Errol Spence versus Yordenis Ugas. And I kind of have mixed feelings about this. I don't really know how to take this. I mean, now on one end, I am actually very happy that Keith Thurman will either get his hands on Errol Spence or Yordenis Ugas. But on the other hand, I feel kind of, I don't want to say like he cut the line, because keep in mind, Keith Thurman has always been around. And keep in mind, it was because of injuries that he wasn't as active. But because he was not as active, new people have emerged, So that being said, with new people emerging, it's like, do you really deserve to be here now? And that's more or less in the back of my mind. Now, I guess that's neither here nor there, but that is a thought. Do you really deserve to be where you are in terms of positioning? And I don't know. I really don't know the answer to that. Like I said, a part of me just feels like you kind of cut the line. You have like a Duran Ennis, so Victor Ortiz. You've got people who should be where you are. And like I said, I'm not mad because it was initially injuries that kind of took him out of commission. So, and then, what happened globally happened. So it's just like it all kind of lined up. So for that, I guess I'm not that mad. But in the back of my mind, I'm kind of feeling like that. But however, moving forward, what are my thoughts on him getting his hands on the winner of Ugas and Spence? I've been wanting to see Keith Thurman versus Errol Spence for the longest, like 2017. So by all means, I'm happy about that. A lot of things have been said. And one thing I will say between these two, it's Errol Spence has never been shy to say that Keith Thurman won't fight him. Even to Keith Thurman's face, he will say it. He's been in several interviews where Keith Thurman was like feet away, or he would jump in the camera and be like, "Oh, I bet he won't fight me. I bet he'll move up, and wait, or I bet he'll go back down," or something like that. And they'll like laugh about it. So it's going to be good and refreshing to see that happen. Now, the question about that is, do I think Mario Barrios is the right person to like get Keith Thurman and the shape, the battle shape that he's gonna need for Yordenis Ugas or Errol Spence? No, I don't. Listen, if you had Mario Barrios and then you had somebody else after Mario Barrios, by all means. But to fight Barrios and then be like, all right, I'm ready for Spence. And yeah, I get it. Some of you are going to say, well, Spence had he has the eye issue and he probably still isn't 100% healed up from the car accident, which he may not even be. I can't deny that or dispute that. But what I will say is, based on what Spence did to Danny Garcia, I just don't know what fighting Barrios is going to do for Keith Thurman. I suppose it'll give him his confidence back, because I'm expecting Keith Thurman to knock Barrios out. So I'm expecting it to give him confidence back. But the reality is, how much confidence are you going to have fighting somebody who comes from a smaller weight class and then you lay him out? But yeah, the knockout feels good. But outside of that, it's like we would all be sitting here saying, well, you were supposed to do that. Look at his size. You were supposed to do that. Tank fought at 130 pounds and he put him down. So you better do that, because that's not complimentary if you can't do that. So you should do that. In fact, we're expecting nothing less than for you to do that. We're expecting nothing less. But could you stop an Errol Spence, who's been wanting to put his hands on you for a very long time? Could you stop a Yordenis Ugas? Pacquiao couldn't put Ugas down. Pacquiao, I think, backed Ugas up maybe 2 or 3 times in the entire fight. Pacquiao backed you up several times in that fight. So Ugas is no walk in the park. Ugas has a great jab. Ugas has long arms. Ugas has power in those punches. I mean, one thing that neither Ugas nor Spence has that Keith Thurman definitely, I don't know if he still has it. So again, this Barrios fight is going to tell us a lot of things. Does he still have those legs? Because Keith Thurman he has legs. He can definitely make his way around that ring easily, gracefully. But I don't know where his legs are today. I don't know. I don't know where his legs are today. So it's hard for me to say what he can do based on what he used to be able to do. I don't know. This Barrios fight is just going to answer so many questions because it's hard to talk about the future and we don't know where you are in the present. We have no clue. The last time we saw you, both of you are coming off of losses. So the only thing that I know is you're just eager to get back in there. The only thing that I know is that you're hungry to get back in there. And the other thing that I know is that you're expecting to have a great turnout because you're fighting somebody smaller than you. So you're expecting to knock this guy out. In which case, back to what I said earlier, and you should. But does that really prepare you? I don't think it does. Should that give you the confidence that you're gonna need facing either one of those two? I don't think that it will. I really don't think that it will. I gotta be honest with you. The only way you build confidence after fighting Barrios is if you knock Barrios out in the first round and you just go home and heal and train and heal and train. Then Spence and Ugas, they have their unification bout and they beat each other up senseless. And now they're both like, maybe a few years off each other's life. And then you're like, well, I'm completely and totally rested and healed up, and they're banged up. This is a perfect opportunity now that I'm next up in line. Now, if it's that type of scenario, yeah, I'm going to give you more of a shot. But I got to be honest with you. Keith Thurman's never been big on volume. That's number one. Ugas is not big on value. I'm just kind of like comparing side by side. Ugas is not big on value, but Ugas is precise. That dude is precise. And Ugas has a steady jab. Keith Thurman does not have a steady jab. Keith Thurman wants to Hulk smash everything. And I don't think he's going to be able to fight like that with Ugas. I really don't. It's going to have to be a stick and move. But again, I don't know from his, I haven't seen you in so long. And last time I saw you, you didn't use your legs in the Manny Pacquiao fight. And it was an amazing fight, but you didn't come out the winner. And I'm sorry, just based on that, I'm going to have to say that Ugas has the upper hand in this fight against you. Mentally speaking, he just naturally has the upper hand. I mean, he's got belts, but on top of that, he beat the person that you got beat by while he was riding high off beating you. So, and Manny was hungrier than ever when he fought Ugas. So it's just like, I don't know, man. Ugas is not going to be easy for you. And then you go back to Errol. I feel like I think Errol is dangerous for a lot of reasons, technically and physically speaking. But mentally speaking, I think one great attribute about Errol Spence is he's never lost that new dog in the yard mentality. And he's had the belt for some time, but he's never lost that new dog in the yard mentality. He's never lost it. He's never, ever, ever lost it. And through the car accident, never lost it. Through the eye injury, never lost it. He's, he still carries himself the same exact way. And when you still walk around like a contender and you're a champion, those are grounds for you to have that strap for a very long time because your mentality is different. Some people get a strap and it's like party time. You know, like Tiafimo is like party time. I'm gonna do my world tour. You know, and it's just like, dude, if ever you needed to hit the gym, it's now. Because everybody's eyes are focused on you. You need to be better than you've ever been. You need to train harder than you ever have now. Now. You know, but some people, they lose focus on that. And it's just like party time. And if you look at Errol Spence, and listen, I do think Errol Spence does, you know, party. I'm not saying he doesn't get out of shape or anything like that. You know, I think the greatest example of that would be Terrence Bud Crawford. Dude's always in shape. Dude is always in the gym. And his circle they're athletes. They're boxing guys. His circle is boxing guys. So let's just say he were out and about. His mind is still on boxing because he hangs out with boxing guys. Errol Spence hangs out with rappers. You know, so there are some differences, but when you hear Errol talk and when you see Errol train, he still talks like a contender. He still talks like he's coming up in the ranks and he's got something to prove. He still talks like that guy from 2017. That's why he's dangerous. And he's relentless. That's why he's dangerous. You know, Sean Porter believed that he won the fight with Keith Thurman. He doesn't say that about Errol Spence fight. You know, although I believe it was extremely close. You know, if that weren't for that knockdown, you know, Porter could have possibly taken that home. But sometimes it just comes down to this. Honestly, it just comes down to this. And styles make fights. It's just we gotta wait for that fight with Keith Thurman. We gotta wait for that fight with Keith Thurman to really say what's gonna happen between him and Ugas and him and Spence. But with that being said, I've said enough for this video. I need you to drop your comments down below. I also need you to like. I also need you to share. I also need you to subscribe.